You know, normally I would start one of these videos with a quick scene or a quip, but honestly I got nothing for this announcement. Cue the intro. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Thomas and I've got another announcement update for all of you, and that is of course Halloween 4, the return of Michael Myers, because not only is it the return to the franchise, it's also the return to the park. And well, for those of you who have not seen Halloween 4, Halloween 4 takes place about 10 years after the events of the original Halloween movie. For some of you, it is a fantastic film, and others view it as a miss. But Halloween 4 does something that really no other sequel does, and that is be the last good sequel before the shitty downfall all the way to H20 or H2O. Now this announcement comes out of left field for absolutely none of you, since you saw our video talking about how Halloween and Poltergeist were leaked at a hotel. Now the hotel leak, of course, was, well, what we thought was only for Orlando, but it turns out it's also for Hollywood. And yes, this is part 2 of that confirmed leak. And just as an aside, that is the last time we are covering any kind of leak on this channel. Just letting you all know. So what can we expect from Halloween 4 at Universal Studios Hollywood? Can't speak much for Orlando, other than it's also going to be having the property. Well, Hollywood is going to be having the facade of what looks to be a gas station, as many of you have already pointed out, and it is going to be set in the Waterworld queue. But before I go into that, let's read some of the tweets that John Murdy, the creative director of Halloween Horror Nights, released today. On October 1st, 1963, a 10-year-old boy named Michael Audrey Myers brutally murdered his sister with a knife in their family home in the small Midwestern town of Haddonfield, Illinois. Michael was taken into custody by local authorities and committed to the Smith Grove Sanitarium to serve out a life sentence under the supervision of psychiatrist Dr. Sam Loomis. 15 years later, Michael escaped from Smith Groves to return to the scene of his crime. During one terrible night, October 31st, 1978, Michael murdered 4 people and was about to claim a 5th victim, a teenage girl named Laurie Strode, before being shot by Dr. Loomis. 6 times, should I add? But you can't kill the boogeyman. And the terror to the town of Haddonfield experience on Halloween night 1978 was just the beginning. Michael survived and followed Laurie to the Haddonfield Memorial Hospital, where he resumed his killing spree. The carnage finally ended in a fiery confrontation between Michael and Dr. Loomis, a confrontation that left Loomis scarred for life and Michael in a medical coma. Ever since the events of that terrible night, that town of Haddonfield has lived in the shadow of its own personal boogeyman, Michael Myers. Then, 10 years later, October 30th, 1988, Michael awoke from his coma as he was being transferred back to Smith's Grove. My goodness, I can't say that. Killed the medical personnel escorting him and escaped custody. Dr. Loomis knew exactly where Michael was heading back to his hometown of Haddonfield to resume his killing spree he started a decade ago. For Loomis knows something about Michael that no one else seems to grasp. Michael is no longer a man. He is quite simply pure evil. Pure evil never sleeps. It never dies. And the town of Haddonfield is about to wake up to an all-new nightmare. Welcome to Halloween 4, the return of Michael Myers. Wow, okay, well, what does that mean? Why are we jumping from Hell Comes to Haddonfield all the way to the return of Michael Myers? What happened to Halloween 3? Well, for those of you who have seen Halloween 3, you know that it actually isn't about Michael Myers. In fact, we have seen Halloween 3 represented in both Halloween Michael Myers Comes Home and Halloween Hell Comes to Haddonfield. And according to these tweets, we are going to see more representation for Halloween 3 at Halloween 4, the return of Michael Myers. And that is some pretty exciting stuff. Now, the main reason that it seems like why we didn't get the new Blumhouse version of Halloween, which is set 40 years after the event of the 1978 massacre, well, it seems like HHN is going to prolong the story of Michael Myers. In fact, they're going to want to cover every single Michael Myers film there is. And honestly, I'm kind of okay with that. If that means that we can see representation for every single one of these movies, that just means we get more Michael Myers at the park, and I'm totally okay with that. Now here's the thing that gets a lot of people upset, myself included. When the creative directive team over at Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood decided that they would only be giving us clues and red herrings instead of announcements, they gave us 3 that they said were red herrings. Well, it turns out one of them was actually not a red herring, it was in fact an actual clue. This clue, of course given to us by John Murdy, was that this clue that relates to a certain maze is the name of a rapper who has not attended the event, at least to John Murdy's knowledge. Well, it turns out that that rapper was none other than Eminem. Get it? M and M. Michael Myers? Oh, it's so clever. Well, it got me stumped, but at least that's because I thought this was a red herring. So, good on ya, creative team. Now, of course, that means we have 2 more mazes to go in Hollywood and 2 more to go in Orlando now that this is a shared property between the 2 of them. So let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this announcement. Are you excited to see Halloween represented at the park, to have Michael Myers return? And of course, he is going to be in the spot where the Titans of Terror were last year because they didn't invite him last year. All of that and all your other thoughts, let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you are new to the channel, might as well subscribe. We're making new horror events and horror movies and horror reviews and all things horror on this channel. In fact, you could say that we are doing rebranding of the entire channel for some particular reason. And of course, my name is Thomas. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, and I will see you all in the very near future because I'm assuming there's going to be a new announcement probably at the end of the week, so look out for that.